Welcome back to another episode of your favourite show on the internet. With me, the greatest, and you, the worst. What a merry pair.
Why are you singing it towards me? You said you the worst. You should have said him the worst.
True. Anyway, welcome back. No one knew this week, so the usual 30. Before we go into our album this week, what have you been listening to?
I think it was Led Zeppelin 3. I've been listening to that.
Okay.
Oh, and I listened to Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan.
We had a conversation about Bob Dylan where my thinking is he tends to make songs, but then other people does it better, basically, in it.
Yeah.
So would you rather listen to "And Make You Feel My Love"?
That's Adele.
Yeah. Or the Bob Dylan one.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on the matter, quite frankly.
Yeah. What have you been listening to?
Over the past week, the album that's really stood out to me, it's not a new one, is Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. And it absolutely knocked my socks off.
Have you listened to much Simon and Garfunkel before?
Well, like 2 days after that, like, again, this is all on the album generator that I have, there's a different album every day. And 2 days after, out of like the 1,000 that's on there, I got Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme on there as well. So that's the only 2 albums I've listened to in full. When I first met Rach, my partner, she was saying, well, I was saying to her, oh, what music are you into? And she said, like, one of her favourites is Simon and Garfunkel. And I was like, you absolute hipster. You're like born in early 90s and your favourite's Simon and Garfunkel. And then I was in love then. So, but then despite that, only ever really listened to like 3 songs and then just went, these are good, never mind. Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme was very good, but it didn't quite hit the same as Bridge Over Troubled Water for me. That's a normal saying.
Yeah, among some people.
This week, thank you for sticking with us so far, is SZA, I believe, or SZA.
SZA. I said SZA to Alexa and it worked.
SZA.
Yeah. SOS.
Yes.
The album is called.
Yeah. Any preconceptions about SZA?
Nope, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was a girl, boy, group, robot. Could have been AI. Had no idea what it was.
No, me neither. Like, I know when we decided to review this one, on my Instagram, that I'll put a link to there, there were people, like, over the past couple of weeks that are really, like, hyped for this album. They were saying, like, it's the best thing ever, and I was like, I've never even heard of this person. Never mind getting hyped for it coming out. There's not a first album, is it?
No, I think it's like 3rd, maybe.
Yeah.
I have heard of a name, actually. Well, I've seen those 3 letters on, like, I think it's a Kanye West album, maybe, or a Beyonce album before, but I didn't know what it was.
So what did you make of the album?
Overly Long would definitely be my first one.
Yeah, I agree. It's too long.
Yeah.
For my short attention span, anything over an hour is already... I'm starting off at a bias of...
Yeah, mine's 40 minutes. And I'm down. Just so much throwaway and so much auto-tune. Some of the songs were okay, but I could never go back and listen to them. I don't know where I said this in the chronology of our videos, but I said, like, there's that one song...
Is it F2F?
Yeah. Where it's like,
it's just suddenly
what is this album? What is this doing on this album?
Yeah, it was when we were discussing Sam Ryder, because he had the David Guetta song at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And it was because I was listening to it, and I was like, right, okay, this song's fine. And I was just typing away because I was working as I was listening to it. And then suddenly my foot starts tapping and my head's bopping. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is sick, this one. What's just happened?
Yeah, that is like the best song on the album.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing like the rest of the songs on the album. How about you?
Pretty much like the same. Like, I don't think anything stood out as, like, very bad. But there wasn't much that stood out as very good either. And, like, I wanted... Because I've seen lots of people that do like this album... I wanted to see the fuss. So I think I went into it thinking, okay, this is going to be really good. I'm going to like this. I wanted to like it because a lot of people like it. But, yeah.
As soon as I heard the first bars of the first song, I thought, I know exactly what this album's going to be like.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
And, like, I know this is maybe just more a me thing than a most people thing. But I don't like when lyrics in songs are very overtly sexual because I don't care. You get lots of male rappers that are like, oh, I got all these women and this is what, like, I just don't care. And then similarly in this one, like, I guess it's fresh that you don't get many female singers that are like that, because, like, yeah, I'm looking for my new dick and, like, I don't care. It's not constructive and it's not hitting anything for me. It's not like, yeah, you go get that girl.
No.
Like, I just don't care.
No. Well, it's whapping it.
Yeah, yeah. It's WAP to a less...
Grotesque.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just being prudes.
I mean, possibly, like, and I know there's lots of music that is very sexual, but just for me, always, it's not like, oh, you shouldn't sing about that. It's just like, but did you need to? Like, is there nothing else going on in your life that's of importance?
Well, sex sells, doesn't it? Always does. And I
Yeah.
bet there's a video to go along with that. You'll probably get loads of horny teenagers just masturbating to it.
That snippet there's going in the shot.
I look forward to the last track when I saw it because it had Old Dirty Bastard on it.
Yeah.
And even that was bad.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, when I was looking on it and then scrolling down, and it's like, because it's on Apple Music and it says Old Dirty ... And I was like, that's got to be the bastard there. It's not going to be any other Old Dirties, is there? Probably saying it's boring is too far. It was just very mid for me,
Yeah, I just didn't like it.
you know?
Only because I knew exactly what every song was going to be pretty much, and they were all very much of a muchness.
Yeah,
They're all very similar.
yeah. And like coming back to when I was saying before, like with the Simon and Garfunkel albums, I really liked with them how they've got their own sound, but they vary it a lot. You're not just listening to the same song over and over again, which, aside from F2F, this quite was.
Yeah, and even that just seems like a weird choice. I mean, it was a pleasant choice.
Yeah.
But it was just weird, like, what were you... Is that what you really want to be doing? And you're being made to sing this other drivel?
There's not going to be any pop punk fans that are like, I'm going to buy this album for that one song. But there possibly would be R&B fans that are like, why is this here?
Yeah, I bet that song never gets performed live. If you're listening, SZA, prove me wrong.
We know that you're one of our 30 subscribers. Any songs that you hated?
No. I honestly can't remember any of them.
I think I was thinking the same thing. And to be honest, when I asked that question, then I was thinking, I hope you say something, because I can't even really remember a lot of the songs well enough, because they do just blur into one.
I did read other reviews of this and people were loving it. But I just don't get what people enjoy these days, because people like dance music, don't they? So.
When I told you that I was asked to contribute towards that Instagram critic review thing, and they're slowly releasing the results, but most of them that like everyone's collaboratively voted for, I'm like, I've never heard of any of these people. Like, we're in at number 12, and actually number 12 was Midnight's Taylor Swift, so I disagree, but I've heard of it. 12 to 20, or 13 to 20, I guess. It's like, never heard of this one, never heard of this one, never heard of this one. And they've got like 30 votes from all these different people, and I'm just like, I am out of the loop big time. And I can guarantee that my number one choice, which was a power metal album, will not be in that top 10 based on what other people have said.
What's a power metal album?
That Fellowship album.
Oh, that was bad.
I love that album. I still love that album. I play it a lot. Putting a number on the album?
2. Only because it left absolutely no impression on me whatsoever, apart from I knew all this was going to be bad.
Fair enough. Yeah. I was leaning probably more towards 4, in that, like I say, it wasn't awful to me, but it wasn't good either. I'm not going to be going back to it.
No.
So it's going to be leaning more towards the bottom end than the higher end, because it didn't entice me.
About time. We had a bad album.
On a scale of NoFX to Weezer, where does this come?
2.
You did already say that.
Yeah, I just literally said that.
Yeah. So, therefore, on the question of this week, with this highly reputable album that everyone is absolutely gushing over, we challenge you all and say, actually, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Have you heard
bad.
it? Next week, Demi Lovato. What's the album called? Next week, it's Demi Lovato's newest album that was released some point within the past year. How recent was it?
Like last week or something.
All right, very new, yeah. Au revoir!
Farewell, omelette de fromage.